4v4 on Lombardia. Let's introduce the players, and then you will see something very interesting here for the team and the even colors. In the red, we have Verdana playing as the Goths. In the yellow, we have Namek playing as the Goths. In the purple, we have PL Mir playing as the Goths. And in the orange, you guessed it, we have Nazuit playing as the Goths. Oh my god, I have never seen this before. What? What is this? 4 Goth players. Like, normally it's already like one player going Goth is already a liability for the team. Like, oh god, the Goth player is just gonna hold us back unless they can get to the spam. This is an interesting. This is going to be an interesting game. This might either be really bad or really good. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea. It's got to be prepared, though. This can't be just something that random team members that don't know each other just pick. Or unless they were talking in the lobby and they were like, yo, you guys, let's all go Goths just for shits and giggles. Whatever the reasoning was, it's amazing, and I really want to cast this game now. I really want to know how this is going to go. Let's see who the unfortunate people are who are up against a Goth team. In the blue, we have D playing as the Britons. He's going to have a nice time then. Yeah. In the green, we have Bulgarians for a number that I'm not going to pronounce. In the teal, we have Tello HG playing as the Franks. And then in the gray, we have Spoonlord playing as the Italians. Yeah, just a normal standard matchup, right? You have Bulgarians and Franks. Great pocket combo. Bulgarians is pretty aggressive as well. And 2 flank civs, which are great archer civs. So, although I don't think archers are going to be the real thing that people will be going for in the late game. As soon as Huskarls come out, the flanks are going to be severely nerfed here. Now, the best civ, I think, on the side of the odd team, right? Odd colored team. The civ that I think is best able to deal with Goths in this regard, I think that would be green. And the reason for that is that green can go for Bagane's two-handed swordsman. Two-handed swordsman with extra melee armor, and a lot of it too. I think that might actually be really good. And also being able to make some conics here and there definitely would help as well, so... But still, I mean... See, that's the thing. When people talk about matching Goths with other civs, you always have to ask in what situation we are matching these teams, right? Like, when you say, for example, Britons v Goths, like, people are inclined to say, oh, Goths win that every time. But if you look at the win rate between the two civs, it's Britons that win most of the time. It's very simple. Because Goths beat Britons if they can get Huskarls out, if they can start spamming Britons. Because Britons are mostly an archer civ, right? If they can't make their archers, then, well, they are in trouble. Through that. But until that point, we're talking about Dark Age and Feudal Age, the Goth player is going to fall behind the Briton player easily, because the Briton player actually has an eco bonus, the Goth player does not. So until Huskarls come out, Britons can easily go crossbows and get an easy lead over the Goth team. So that's why it's always important to really balance out. You know, you gotta think about, like. What am I trying to say? Or, like, when you're talking about who's going to win a certain matchup, it always depends on what type of game it's going to be. If it's going to be a short game, Goth players tend to lose. If it's a longer game, Goth players tend to win. Like, that's the thing with Goths. Either they get destroyed or they destroy everything. As I hope Red is going to find this bear, because otherwise the bear is going to find this villager. And I don't think this villager can survive too many bear attacks here. Luckily, Yellow Scout is nearby, so depending on the difficulty setting that they're playing here, this bear might either see them or not. I can actually see. The bear can see the villager. This is building a forward barracks as well. Like, that's the thing, right? We're going to have some shenanigans here, because otherwise... I mean, you'd say that a team made of only Goth players should fall behind a team that is not, well, basically anything else. Unless, I guess, the opponents are all Portuguese or something like that. I mean, who knows? Well, in any case, now I'm already missing capture rate right here, but I don't want to risk it. I don't want to crash my stream. So, in any case, I do like the the fact that there seemed to be some sort of coordination here between the team. Like, this seems to be a prepared strategy, honestly. We have red and orange, the flank players for the Goths, both putting a forward barracks down now. As we have militia coming forward as well, so it's going to be a lot of aggression from the Goth team here. Makes a lot of sense. Don't think that green and the green and blue and stuff like that have found that already. Ooh, villager almost dying to a bear as well. Yeah, so orange lucky there. Let's see. Yeah, they don't know yet about these barracks, but they're gonna find out. They're gonna find out about all of this in a second. As green is trying to get the walls up, but yeah, the first militias are already here, and green is already like, ah, crap, there come the gods. And it's gonna be a lot of militias as well. Let's see if they can keep this open. If they can keep the front open, that'd be a nice way to get into their opponent's bases. And also, this is such an important hill to control. If any Goth player can get a castle up on this hill, that looks really good for the Goth team, because this is a very important hill. Green should try to keep this wall, but right now lost a villager already. Might lose another one here as well if red blocks his villager a little bit with his scout. Or purple does. Not sure who. Green. Oh, look, he's sending so many villagers to try to get the wall down. But there's so many militia here as well. Green, there is 8 militia on the field right now. I don't think you're going to get this wall up. Green, it's not going to work. And he calls it GG. Green, no. Oh, God. Why? Why do you do this, Green? Why do you do this? Spoonlord now says, I see, and they're gonna resign as well, aren't they? Ah! Oh, no, but I wanted this. I wanted this so bad. Are they gonna play? Because, I mean, it's still a 3v4 versus Goth players. Oh, God. That is a lot of militias in your base. That is a lot of militias. I've never seen that many militias from that many team members, and that's, you know, militias are still dangerous to deal with. And I wonder if the remaining players are gonna have it in them to continue to fight there. You know what the worst part for them is? That green was the best option they had against Goths in the late game. Well, teal is definitely gonna be the one on the receiving end of this punishment now. Lost a villager over here already, and now it's just. It's gonna go straight for the stable. How many units is that? My God. That's 16 militia, soon to be men-at-arms. What is this game? What is this freaking game? And the worst part is the Goth team is far ahead right now. Oh, well, yellow. Oh, yellow. Oh, losing some HP on his men-at-arms here. But teal is going to lose that stable if he can't kill all these militia, which, kind of needs some help from gray and blue in this regard, but it's going to take a while before blue gets his archers over there, so... Yeah, that stable is a goner. That's 175 HP, and no, don't build it so far away from your TC. Build it right next to your TC, because they're just going to do the same thing again. Oh, teal, that's a mistake. No, that's a mistake. Look, I mean, look, orange. Look how many freaking militia he made. 8. Just Goth thing, man. Just Goth things, man. Yeah, teal actually taking the right choice here, using his scouts as a shield and then fighting with his villagers as well. You know, thinning out this horde of militia and men-at-arms before they can be upgraded. Orange and red, of course, aren't yet in the feudal age. But yeah, more military coming forward, and the Goth players, of course, they have this. They can just do whatever they want. I have respect for teal and blue and gray that they continue to play here, but I mean they're down a teammate and they're behind. Kind of, right? Kind of. Well, this has already been a wacky game, man. This has already been a crazy game as is. As blue is microing this as well. With his archers. I mean, archers should be able to deal with these militia at this point, especially when you get fletching on them. That shouldn't be a problem anymore. Already has 8 out, so yeah, that's fine. The men-at-arms should also die to this. Now, of course, if you're annoyed by green, you can easily delete his buildings, right? You can just delete all. If you're allied to a player and they resign, you can delete their buildings and kill their villagers if you want to. I mean, you don't have to. But for example, if you want to go to stone here, you can delete that mining camp and kill the stone. Also, why is green on stone already? He was still in Dark Age. You can't build walls and stone walls in Dark Age. So that's yeah. Tells me a lot about green as a player, honestly. The kind of choices that he made here, and also the fact that he resigned immediately. Like that tells me a lot about green as a player. As blue now with the archers, right, is pushing back this Goth aggression now. Infantry's not gonna save you again anymore against this many archers with fletching now, yep. And also an attack bonus for the spearman, by the way. And this is the thing, this is the thing. As soon as Britons get some archers out, what do Goths do before they have Huskarls? They... Not much. Not much at all. You kind of have to do something. And Blue says, we okay. We okay. Yes, they're going to continue to play. Oh, this could be a legendary game, this. This could be a legendary game. Let's go. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped for this right now. I really want this to go as late as possible. I want this to be like the most even game ever. And then even if the Goth players then just destroy everything at the end, we're fine with that. And oh, look at this gray hitting red. I mean, see, this is the reason why red and orange especially were so aggressive with Goths. It's because it's just Goths suck early game. They just do. I kill all militia of 4. Well, nice. Yeah, poor Teal, man. Teal definitely took the brunt of that. Lost another stable as well, so he lost 2 stables. So yeah, Teal's going to be out of it for a second. It's going to come down to the flank players here to do some damage. Killing all these forward villagers as well. That's really good. That's really important. Getting rid of the villagers so that they can't build more buildings, because they will build more buildings. As one Goth player is on the way to Castleades, and that is a... Oh, God. Oh, God, no. One of them is actually going to make it, and once Orange makes it to Castleades, that can be a castle. I am very curious to see where that's going to go. I should imagine that's going to go defensively. As all Goth players, they're all on stone. Every single one of them. I mean, Orange isn't quite there yet. The timing is a little bit off, and so is Red. Actually, Red has to recuperate the stone from his tower, so he still has to deal with this. Hey, that's the thing with forward buildings. Forward buildings aren't in your home base. And that is a tautology. That's like, yeah, duh, Tim, obviously. But it's true, though, because now suddenly you're going to have a hard time defending yourself, as Blue is going to try to do as much damage as he can. But as soon as they see that Orange is in Castleades, they're going to start holding their heart and be like, oh, crap, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Because that's when it gets worse, because Goth players get even a better discount on their units once they hit Castleades. You know, it's staggered like that. And of course, Huskarls come out at that point. So yeah, Orange, but Orange doesn't quite have the stone for a castle yet. He's almost there, 590 stone. So the timing is a little bit off, but it's going to be fine. As for purple, honestly, I think when you have stone like this, just tower everything. Just tower it. Just tower everything, because then the archer player suddenly can't do anything anymore. Yeah, now you have to abandon a lot of resources, and especially the stone. Oh boy. Oh, purple, tower. Tower, purple, tower. Dear God, I know you want a castle, but not everyone needs a castle here. You also need some economy. So yeah, like, Blue's doing a good job, and that's why the score lead is in favor for the odd team for now, because they're putting on the pressure and really showing why Goth players struggle in the early game. As Orange is now going to drop a castle in the front of his base. That's a nice position, right next to these golds on a hill. Yeah, I like that. That's good. And that means Huskarls can come out, and as soon as the Huskarls come out, they're going to wreck these archers. That is the moment when the Britain player will have to switch into something else. Especially if the entire team tries to go for that. But man, what a damage Purple has taken there. Yeah, the fill counts for Purple not looking too good. 31. It's about as good as Teal's fill count. They have finally gotten the walls up on this side, so at least their base is, the front of their base is a little bit protected. It's as good as it's going to get now, but yeah. Also, Blue... recognizing the threat, yeah, he says back. He says back because he recognizes as well they are castle, and that means castle age units, and that means, well, Huskarls. There's Red farming around this mill out here. Very dangerous. He could actually kill these scouts. Red, fight the scouts. See, this is... I actually made a forum post about this, as Red doesn't have loom, does he? Oh, he does. But there's just upgrades on these Frankish scouts. Red! Fight! Red! I know he figures it out. Oh, loses 5 villagers. He's gonna lose this one as well. That's the 5th one. Oh, okay, never mind. 4 villagers then. Ah, Red! That sucks. That's what pisses me off. If a villager can kill a scout, it should just automatically turn around and kill the scout, in my opinion, honestly. Like, that kind of sucks. I mean, they do it in Dark Age, right? When they have loom, they automatically attack a Dark Age scout. But yeah, they recognize that Red is the weak spot here. Red is not at the Castleades yet, and he's not going to get there soon unless he buys himself up. But As this scout's still alive, and red, honestly, you can't farm there anymore. Farm around the tower. Something. Yeah, they realize we need to start rolling them up one by one. We can't kill orange and purple anymore because they are encapsulated. Yellow is encapsulated as well. That's going to get dangerous in a second here. Huskarls will start to come out as well for orange, which he will send straight to the left side. And yeah, this is the moment where it gets difficult. This is the moment where it gets really difficult. As you have some knights raiding the supply lines from blue, getting some straggling crossbows that are being sent to the front to attack the front here as well. Normally, this would be really scary, right? This would be a really scary army. I mean, this much military against a Castellites player. But honestly, with the amount of Huskarls that is about to come out here with 7 pierce armor, I don't think they're going to be that afraid. That seems like only 10 attack, but remember that Huskarls also get a bonus damage versus archers, so they kill archers quite fast. Yeah, and gray and blue, they will have to be very careful here how they continue to play this. Man, imagine if green was still here, man. Imagine if green would have just not given up, you know, and just remained here and made this game competitive, right? It would have been a very even game, honestly. Even because the Goth players evened it out by being very aggressive, right? That's how they got a little ahead. I mean, they're behind immediately, right? Because the Britain player is just going to add a lot of economy. Let me look at the score here for D. Like, that's pretty good. As Red will probably have to abandon his main base here. That's not going to go up. He's not going to be able to get the Castellites at that rate, so I'll have to rebuild his town center now. Somewhere else, I guess he'll just probably town center behind orange and purple, kind of shielding himself. Hey, Goth defenses are always really bad. And I like that the odd team is keeping their army together, you know, trying to work together here, because they have to. If they want to win this game, they have to stick together. And be aggressive enough to make sure that the Goth players never get a forward on their base going. Because again, like I said, the biggest weakness of the Goths is that their economy is so weak. That's really their weakness. Also, Huskarls not very good against knights, just saying. As yellow does lose that mangonel, and yeah. Because the Huskarls, they don't have the highest attack in the world. They don't get bonus damage versus knights, and they lack melee armor. So yeah, Huskarls now fighting against the crossbows, but good micro there from Gray to save as many of his crossbows as he can. But he is losing a bunch of numbers there. I think honestly, you need something else here to fight the knights. I will make champions, says the Breton player, and that's perfect. That's perfect. Very good. Adapting to this because the Huskarls are just going to shred your archers. They just kill archers too quickly here. You know, blue and gray know that as well, you know, and I love that I can see the chat. Again, thank you, developers, man, for finally adding spec chat. Only 2 years too late. You know, now this also tells me that this is a team of randoms. This is not a team. Like, the fact that I haven't heard a single word from any of the players on the Goth side tells me that they probably are a team that is organized. They're probably talking off Discord, probably. Like, that would be my guess. Not so much for blue, gray, and teal. They're not a team. They are actually just randoms who were put together in this match, and they're doing quite well. They're working together quite well actually here, so that's good. But anything is possible. Anything is possible when there's a Goth team in the mix here. As red is going up to Castellites somewhere. Okay, he's right here. Okay, that's safe. That's safe enough. Right underneath a purple castle. Orange and purple are going to have to carry their teams here because yellow is a bit on the back foot. I think if they can get rid of this ball of crossbows somehow, at that point they will be in a good position. Because as soon as the crossbows disappear, that means that pikemen become a thing again. Because right now, like, for example, if purple wants to add pikemen to kill the knights from teal, he can't because all the crossbows are still there. As, yellow continues to lose mangonels there. You know, he wanted to get a nice shot in on these crossbows for blue, but isn't going to get that for now. It's still such an even game, man. You know, anyone could still win this, but right now the economy for the Goth players is just, it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest overall, although orange is getting there. But red is definitely quite far behind us. Oh, a giant shot by yellow hits all these crossbows, and another shot. That is good stuff. He was waiting for that one. Yeah, blue had his crossbows bunched up in that way, so that's good. But still, yellow has to yield ground. Nevertheless, if they can't kill these crossbows, they can't counter the knights, so they need pikemen here as well to fight the knights. Something, because Huskarls don't fight knights well. They just don't. They really don't. You need something else. Yeah, this is not a good fight for the Goth player. Look at this. Look how fast the Huskarls die to this. Huskarls are scary. They have attack bonus versus buildings. They kill archers really quickly, but they do not kill knights quickly. And look at this. This is a good fight for Teal, because if Teal kills as many Huskarls as he is killing right now, then Blue can still stick around here for longer time. Look at that. Look at that. That is a big mistake for the Goth players to not recognize that knights are too strong for Huskarls, because these Huskarls need to be used against the pikemen and against the crossbows. And now the crossbows can stick around. They don't have to run away now. And yellow's probably going to lose the TC now. Okay, purple is going to stall out this pressure though with a nicely placed castle on the left side. If you wall a little bit towards this with the TC, I don't know. But yeah, the aggression has been so good from the odd color team. Like, the full Goth pick is really starting to show how, how weak that can be if you can't play it properly. Like, I mean, I understand that yellow's going nice. That's good. That is good. It's just he's kind of losing a lot of eco here. A lot of economy. Yeah, that is, yeah, as Blue said it earlier, we good. And Blue is good. And I mean the entire team, we good. As Grey continues to snipe more villages there, poor Red, still losing vills, still down to 23 vills. He's never really in the game anymore. He's just trying to boom on 3 TCs as good as he can, but as this castle for yellow will probably go up as he's committing more villages to it. But man, look at the pressure. Look at the insane amount of pressure. Like, people always ask casters, like, how do you counter Goth players? Because once they get to the spam, they're like impossible to kill. You kill them before they get to the spam. Like, just look at the militaries being sent forward right now. And now the longswords are on their way, which, by the way, have melee armor now. They have one base melee armor now. Very helpful against Goth Huskarls, which do not have melee armor. This especially buffs the counter to Goths. So Goths actually got nerfed slightly there. Relatively, right? Because they didn't get a buff to their Huskarls yet, whereas everyone else did get a buff to their melee armor. Maybe they should buff Huskarls, though, with one melee armor. I don't think that will really make a big difference, but yeah, you can just tell that the Goth team is in disarray. Like, they're trying to, they have to plug so many holes, and that's what I'm saying, right? When people say, "Oh, archer civs should die to Goth civs," yeah, but not necessarily. They die if it's archers versus Huskarls, but if there's anything else in the field as well, like long swords, like knights, then Huskarls don't do anything. And the worst part about this is that at this point, there's so many crossbows still alive, they can still kill all these pikemen. As long as Blue keeps his archers alive, oh, Blue, he wasn't paying attention to that. Lots of crossbows that go down there. Yeah, if Orange can kill as many archers as he has right now, if he can keep killing these archers, then there is still a shot. Because as long as this crossbow army survives, going pikemen and longswords is not an option for the Goth players. It's perfect play, really. This is how you were going to counter it for Goth players as a team. And I'm impressed, by the way, too, that they are doing it with 3 versus 4 players. Although it really is a 3v3 at this point, because red is very dead, and then yellow is not in a good spot either. So it's basically 2 players that account for half, and then 2 full players here. So it's basically a 3v3 after all, but it's not one that the Goth players are winning. They are getting pushed back further and further. Castles are what is saving them for now. But the question is how long they are going to be saved by that, especially if you look at the economies. It's only Orange has a nice vill count. Orange has a really nice vill count. He can go up to Imperials here. Yeah, but the vill counts for the odd team not that far behind, but the military counts is where it matters. So much military in the front of the Goth base. They have punished the Goth players so much. But is it gonna be enough? Once Orange clicks up the Imperial is here, if he's going to click up the Imp. Oh, he doesn't have the resources for that. He's making Huskarls right now. Oh boy, oh boy. I was going to say, if he makes it the Imp and gets Perfusion, right? And starts making cheap Goth units instantly, then this suddenly might become a problem for the odd team. But if that is not the case, then suddenly, look, we'll just have Imperial Age army now versus Castle Age Goth military. I don't think the Goths are going to win this. But I don't want to call it. I don't want to call it too early, because again, I've learned my lessons with Goth players, right? I have learned my lesson with Goth with Goth games where a Goth player is far behind and then manages to get back. I remember that one Winchester game in Hidden Cup 2. That was amazing in the qualifiers. He got back from that with Goths, which is crazy. Yeah, trap now out. Yeah, purple wants to kill the trap, but you don't want to fight two-handed swordsman because two-handed swordsman way better than Huskarls. Huskarls absolutely get wrecked by any form of melee units from your opponent, except pikemen. As Orange is saying, going for a counterattack, that's probably the best course of action. If you can get some Huskarls in Blue's economy, for example, that'd be really good. As purple will start to lose these castles as well. Orange has clicked up to Imperial Age as well, so at least there's that. Purple is for now just defending. I don't think he's going to get to click up. Well, he has the food, doesn't have the gold for it for now. As at least Teal now sees this army coming forward, so at least if Blue... No, they might exit actually. Let's see if someone sees it yet. Okay, yeah, now so yeah, Blue saw it now. Blue sees it now. He's like, yo, that's a lot of Huskarls. Let's make sure that doesn't get into our economy. Isn't much that can stop this right now because a lot of army for Teal and stuff are forward. As now we have longswords versus Huskarls on the front here. And look, the longswords, they're holding their own with the Pierce, with the melee armor. Now the knights and the two-handed swordsmen join the fight as well. And the arbalists have survived the entire game. Keeping them alive was crucial. Absolutely crucial. Where did Orange's units go? Oh, there they are. Teal. Teal. That is still Huskarls in your base. They still have, they're still quite strong. Nevertheless here. So yeah, this is still not good for Teal. He's definitely going to lose some eco there, but is it going to be in time? Is it going to be in time? Because, I mean, red is trying to reboom. Yellow is trying to reboom as well. Purple is trying to hold as best as he can, but he's holding against champions. And they called a GG. They realized, okay, this is not going to work for us. This is not going to work. And the Goth team taps out. And what an awesome game this was, though. What an awesome game this was. I have never seen this. Honestly, this could have worked out for the Goth players, but the key here was that they had to kill this Archer Ball. This Archer Ball had to die, and they weren't able to do it. You know, losing too many Huskarls to Knights, and also Red taking too much damage. I think Red should have towered more of his resources to kill, to stop the early archers, honestly. They're talking here. Alta Green. Let's see, what the fuck did they do? Like a first four-person rush, they all call militia. Alta Green, an easy kill them, fast archer. Gotta love the insta resign. GG guys. Yeah, good. Yeah, man. This game was awesome. This game was really good. This was, yeah, I mean, just look at it. 4 Goth players. When do you ever see that? I bet that they do this all the time. I bet that they do this before because that was practice. It was not just a random whiff like, oh, we're just gonna go forward with some militia. No. They practiced this. They've done this before. Which is, I'm all here for it. I am all here for it, honestly. This was cool. But like, if I have some comments on the strategy, I think this can work because the early aggression that they did, for one, they knocked 1 player out. That's great. I mean, that should normally not happen, but that's 1, right? 2, they did a lot of damage early on, but I think critical here is you hit the archer players. You hit the archer players, not the pocket players. Because you can add spearmen and kill the scouts. That's not a problem. But archers are your biggest weakness as God. So you hit the archer players first. That's what you do. Delay them. Make sure they can't get archers out. That's 1. 2, if the archer player gets archers into your base, don't try to just fight them. Don't try to just get up the castle. Make skirmishers, right, to defend yourself at home. I didn't see that enough from the Goth player team either. That would help you thin out the archer numbers because you want to keep that as low as possible for later on. 3, once you make it to castle age and you get a castle up, don't just make Huskarls. Also make pikemen if your opponent makes knights. Because knights kill Huskarls really quickly. You need to engage the knights with your pikemen, and at the same time you make your Huskarls go around and push the archers away and kill them. You know, this Archer Ball being alive is why the biggest reason why the Goth team couldn't win this. They could never go champions themselves. They couldn't go longswords themselves. They couldn't go pikemen even. They had to go housecarls because otherwise they would just get shredded by the archers. And at this point, this ball is so big, there's nothing you can do about it anymore. Those are the 3 points that I have for the Goth team. If they had done those 3 things, I think they could have won this game. I really do. Knocking out someone early, if you can delay blue and gray, who are more of a threat in the early game to you than teal would be. Yeah, scouts are annoying, but scouts kill a few units here and there, right? You can post some spearmen around your base and you're fine. That's okay. Archers, though, if you're not going to make skirmishers, you're not going to get to defend yourself against that. So, whew. But man, what a game this was, though. It was so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. Yeah, and these are, of course, some classic Goth KDs. I mean, I wouldn't feel bad about these KDs. That's just because you're a Goth player, right? Like, your units aren't great. They are numerous. They're not great, but numerous, right? Numerous, but not great. Yeah, great KD there for blue. And lots of that was also archer kills. Like I said, archers can counter Goths. You just have to be fast enough. Now, let's see if they are part of the same team or anything like that. I want to see that. And army. Or did they really just decide to do this on a whim? Because that would be amazing to me if they did that. Because it can't be, right? It was too coordinated. It was too coordinated. It had to be a strategy, but it was prepared. I don't believe that otherwise. It had to be. Wow, I mean, Green has played a lot of games, and then to resign like that, that's kind of weird to me. Anyways. Looking at the booms there. Yeah, good feel, and that's what saved him as well. Better economy at the end as well. I mean, even teal with lower economy still got a lot of knights out, and the knights were critical, by the way. The knights kept the archers alive, and then the archers in turn kept the knights alive. Yeah, team games, man. As you can see, look at the lead that they got here. Look at the lead that they got, kicking out Green as well. Like, they were far ahead here, but then they just fall behind because this is what happens to you when you're Goths. It just does. And they just never got back into the game. GG, that's one for the history books right there. And now, honestly, I mean, I said I was going to take a break, but I want to check something real quick. I want to see if they're playing again. That's what I want to see. If you will indulge me. I want to see if that team is playing again, and if they're doing the same thing. Okay, looks like... No, I don't think so. No, they don't play. They're not a team. No, they're just playing with random people here. Wow, what are the odds that freaking happens, man?